Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss about the payment system architecture or system design of payment gateway, and we will be covering the key terms and terminologies used in payment systems, and we will also discuss about the clearing and settlement service. So let me write. Okay, payments system design. Okay, payment gateway system design. So let's talk about the terminologies used in the payment gateway. So first is payment gateway. What is payment gateway? So basically, payment gateway is uh, it allows us to make payment online. So when we go to Amazon, then Amazon has the payment gateway through which we can make the payment online while we can purchase goods, right? So payment gateway supports all type of payments like cards, wallets, net banking, and UPI. So basically, in a nutshell, payment gateway allows us to make payment online for purchasing the goods, and it supports all type of payments like card payment, wallet payment, net banking, UPI, and many more. So let me write it. Okay. Then second thing is payment service provider. So payment service provider is responsible for transferring money from buyer's account to the seller's account. Then we have acquirer bank. So acquirer bank is basically the merchant's bank account. Merchant's bank. Then we have issuer bank. So it is the customer's bank from which amount will be debited on purchase of any goods. Then we have card association. So it's an entity that links your card with the associated banks like MasterCard, Visa, Amex, Rupee, and many more. So card association, it is just an entity that links your card with the associated bank. So card association maintains a directory of banks. So for example, you have a credit card. Credit card contains, I think, 16 digits. So the first four digits of the credit card is used to identify the bank, whether it's a MasterCard or a Visa or Amex or Rupee card. Then we have PCI DSS, so which is Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. So basically, it is the security standard that seller must have to get the credentials so that he can, seller can generate the payment page on their website. So, for example, Amazon has the PCI DSS qualified, right? So Amazon can generate the payment page on Amazon. If the seller is not, qualified for PCI DSS, then seller needs to redirect the request to the payment gateway. So let me write it here. Okay, so this is the payment gateway, payment card industry data security standard. So these are the terminologies which we are going to use. So mainly we are going to use acquirer bank, payment gateway, issuer bank, card association. So just remember that acquirer bank is the merchant's bank, issuer bank is the customer's bank, and card association is the entity which is used to map, card with the associated bank. So let's write the flow, how card payment works. Okay, so how card payment works? So let me write it. So now we are going to design the flow. So first we want to basically capture card details on the merchant. So merchant is, let's say, Amazon. So in Amazon, first we capture the card details. Then let me highlight this thing. Thickness, okay. Here also thickness. Here also. Thickness. Yeah, here. Capture card details. Then we have merchant UI. Merchant UI, you can assume Amazon UI. Okay. From merchant UI, we will go to payment gateway. Let me see. So payment gateway we can use. So you can remember some of the examples of payment gateway are Stripe and Razorpay. So some of the examples are, so you can understand. So payment gateway, Stripe is a popular payment gateway. Razorpay is also a popular payment gateway. From payment gateway, we will flow to payment processor. So payment processor is used to convert the JSON XML message to ITF switch format. Someone is constantly messaging me, so I'm very sorry. Then we have card association. Okay. Then we have issuer bank. So you can let me write some numbering also. I think that will make more sense. Okay, so numbering option is not coming. Okay, so let me write the numbering from here. So this is first. Okay. Then we will go to, this is second step. So customer enter the card details. It will go to merchant UI. It will go to payment gateway. In the payment gateway, customer can select uh, multiple payment methods from card payment, UPI, net banking, wallets. Then from payment gateway, we will go to payment processor, which will convert the JSON XML message format to ETF switch format. Then then we can go to card association to identify the bank associated with the card using the first four digits. So card association internally maintains a directory uh, which is used to mapping between the first four digits of the card number and the bank associated bank. So once we identify the associated bank, then we will go to issuer bank. So issuer bank will check three things. So first it will verify the card details. It will verify the card is expired or not, and it will check the balance, account balance. Okay. So if everything is fine, uh, then it will send a success message. If any one of these three things fails, then it will send a failure message to card association. So let me here, it will be 6. Card association will send the success slash failure message to payment processor, and payment processor will send the success slash failure message to payment gateway. Right? Payment gateway will understand if the payment is successfully made or not. So it can display, merchant UI can display, or let's say payment gateway will display the uh, whether payment is successfully made or not. So this is the flow of how the card payment works. Now let's talk about the clearing and settlement service. Okay. So clearing and settlement service. So first is, what do you mean by clearing? So clearing is basically a signal that funds should be transferred from the issuer bank account to the merchant's bank account. So issuer bank is basically the customer bank account to the uh, merchant's bank account. So and settlement service is basically, settlement is actual. So clearing is just the signal, but settlement is actual transfer of the funds from the issuer bank account to the merchant's bank account. So let's talk about here. Let me copy this merchant. So this is the merchant account. Merchant account will ask acquirer bank to receive the money into the merchant account. Acquirer bank will ask the card networks. So card networks can be anything. Let me write just down. So card networks can be MX, right? Mastercard, Visa, then Rupee. So this is our card network. Yeah, I think let me write here only. From card network, it will go to the issuer bank. Okay, so issuer bank, from issuer bank, it will actually go to the customer's bank account. So money will be debited from the customer's bank account, and it will send the signal to the issuer bank that money is debited, and it should be credited to merchant account, right? So this card network basically processes the transaction in batches so that money can be credited to merchant bank account from acquirer bank. Okay, so card network processes the transaction in batches, and acquirer bank forwards the transaction in batches to card network. Card network again then it forwards the transaction in batches to issuer bank, and then the processing of these payments happen overnight. So this is our clearing and settlement service. Now let's talk about the actual system design. The actual system design of the let's say this payment gateway, payment system architecture. So we can discuss about the functional requirements and non-functional requirements first. Okay, and now we are creating the basically the system design of the payment gateway, or payment gateway, because I'm confusing between payment gateway and payment system architecture, so let's call it payment gateway only. So let's write the functional requirements. So system should support multiple payment modes like net banking, UPI, wallet payments. System should be secured, and system should avoid duplicated payments. Non-functional requirements are system should be highly available and scalable, it should be consistent, and it should be resilient. So there are some parts like some parts of the system should be very highly available and some parts of the system should be very highly consistent. For example, if the money is debited from the customer's account, then this thing should be consistent. It should not be non-consistent thing. And highly available is the payment gateway should be highly available so that customers can place orders and make the payment. Right. So let's okay. So functional requirement is basically support multiple payment modes: net banking, UPI, wallet payments, card payment. It should be secured and avoid duplicated payments. Non-functional, highly available, scalable, consistent, and resilient. Let's draw the diagram now. So this is merchant UI. Let me copy. Oh, sorry. So this is our merchant UI, and this is our payment gateway. Okay. So there is a payment ingestion service which will basically create the unique transaction ID. So it will create, it creates unique transaction ID. Okay, so after it creates unique transaction ID, it forwards the transaction to the queue. So let me create a queue here. So this is a queue. So from queue, we will have a consumer called payment processor. So payment processor converts the XML JSON message format to ETF switch format, because ETF switch format, this format is understood by the payment gateway and clearing and settlement service also, and of course the card association. So if it is successful, then we will store it in the DB, and if the transaction is not successful, then we will store it in the dead letter queue for further retries. So for DB, let me use this thing. Mm, I don't know if it is. Yeah, it looks like little bit of DB. Okay. Now the clearing and settlement service will pick the successful transaction. It will pick the successful transaction from the database. So this is our system design. Now, if you see, our database is on heavy load, right? Because we can easily scale the services and queues using horizontal scaling. We can, for queues we can use RabbitMQ, and we can scale the RabbitMQ using Zookeeper. Services can be easily scaled, but the database is the bottleneck here, because we are doing multiple writes in a minute. So how can we scale this? So we can use sharding, database sharding, and database partitioning based on the dates and mode of payment. So database can be partitioned into different tables according to the dates and then according to the modes of payment, right? So in this way we can scale our application, and we are using dead letter queue for further retries of failed transactions. So yeah, this is the system architecture of payment gateway. These are the functional requirements, non-functional requirements, clearing and settlement service, and how card payment works. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.